Week 12 tonight. I'm back. I got the slate. We got lots to talk about. Big-time playoff implications. The Bills and the Texans and that secondary and Derek Stingley and Mr. I can do it all by myself, even though I have help, and hopefully he will tonight with Ty Shavers, our friend at the show. It is Bills at Houston. Get your Propo Shot bets in, guys, at FanDuel Sportsbook. I will be joined by legendary running back and current Bowling Green head coach Eddie George today. Jags all-time sack leader Josh Hines-Allen. So inspiring and so fun. That's all-time sack leader. That's wild. He was getting a massage while we were talking. We'll get into that. And TNA Wrestling star and friend of the show, former NFL D tackle AJ Francis, is here. Bills, Texans, big one for Buffalo. They're going to try to hawk down the Patriots in the AFC East. I don't know, Hamilton? Matthew? Hawk down? Go
yes.
on. What the heck?
Yeah.
What is that?
Chase them down.
Hawk
take that
down?
AFC. Yeah, take that first place in the AFC East back.
I don't think, in all my years, I don't think I've ever, I've never heard, read, seen that sentence in my entire life.
It's like DK Metcalf on Buda Baker. You want to hawk them down.
No, but love both of those guys. Buda Baker, love that. You just changed my whole day around mentioning Buda Baker. We've got a big one tonight. We've got AJ Francis. Did you see the cam scat? Maybe the control room where Brian can pull this up. Like, did you see the drinking out of a shoe thing? What do I need to know about that? I've been around the young cats lately, so like I think that I'm plugged into what's cool and what's not cool. This I wasn't quite ready for. So Cam is like obviously like the big wrestling thing. We'll sort that out. We'll iron that out and hawk him down with AJ Francis. But I'm going to need you to explain the drinking what out of a shoe?
He was drinking an energy drink out of the shoe, I believe. I don't know how much there is to explain about. I don't know how deep in thought I want to go on this. It's just scat being scat, I guess. Scat being scat.
Everywhere but the field. The people are freaking out about what he does. Here it is.
Oh, here we go.
So this is streaming on something. Okay. I like the jersey in the background. That's
the jersey swap with Derwin.
Yeah, we love the Derwin there. And what did he do? Like lose a bet? Cam, I'm worried. Cam, please keep it together. That face
Why
at
is
the
the
end
shirt off? What's the
is glaring.
There's a lot happening.
Happening.
I saw he was playing Madden on a stream. I guess maybe it had something to do with that.
Speaking of Madden, guess what? We're going to have a couple of the Madden hosts on the show. I am going to be part of the Madden X Peacock NBC collab. I did it last year for, I believe it was Texans at Chiefs. It was like a Week 15 game. But we're doing the big game. We're doing the Sunday night treatment on a Thursday of Thanksgiving night. Me, hopefully I get to hang out with Melissa Stark and some cold turkey legs, and who knows what happens between these Bengals, Matthew, and the Ravens in Baltimore. That's where I will be. Chad Ochocinco slated to be on our program. Tyrann Mathieu will be part of that as well. Ben Kurt, I believe, part of that as well. But, like, I think Joe Burrow is going to play.
It seems like it. It seems like he might even play this weekend against the Patriots, which we'll get into. But also, how fitting is it to have the first ever Madden cover star on the show today, and Eddie George?
And that's why I did it this way. It was all part of what I wanted. All right, you're saying lots going on with Cam Scatterby, lots going on with the AFC wildcard race. Let's dig into it. You guys can tweet the show. They are 5.5-point underdogs at home. Backup quarterback up against the reigning MVP. This has a chance to be a big one that we remember, a legacy type of game for this defense. Not to be hyperbolic, but the defense is doing some historic level stuff right now. As of right now, the Texans have the best total defense we've seen from a team in the last 15 years. They're giving up fewer yards than the Legion of Boom did. Fewer yards. The Harrison Palomalu Steelers, the no-fly zone Broncos, fewer than any defense since the 2009 Jets that went to that AFC title game. But none of it matters or gets you remembered if you don't show out in games like this. But he shut down Josh in primetime just a few days after he has those 6 crazy touchdowns and puts it on his back and does his thing. If you can do that on a short week, you are really cementing yourselves in changing and cementing the way that people might look at you. When the Legion of Boom demanded that kind of attention, it was 2012. There you go. It was Tom Brady. That one game put Richard Sherman's name truly on the map, not in reality, in the perception of the landscape of that moment in the NFL. When those 2015 Broncos held this guy, Aaron Rodgers, to 77 yards passing under the bright lights of Sunday Night Football treatment, that was it. That was supposed to be a Rodgers-Peyton Manning, a high-scoring duel. No, then the defense became cemented. It became the story. And of course, the tattoo on the NFL, the 2000 Ravens, that was forged when they were 5-4 at one point, and they handed Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith their first shutout in nearly a decade in front of the entire country, and then they never lost again. Can tonight be that moment for Houston? Can the defense show it's capable of carrying the team through the playoffs like those ones that you're looking at historically did? Those iconic ones, to say the very least. I cannot wait to freaking find out. That one's tonight. Get your Prop-A-Shot games and like parlays in. I have some versus Gronk. We'll show you guys, I'm sure, sometime here during the show. And then no more international games, no more around the world. So you guys got to get it in on FanDuel Sportsbook. I do believe we're going to have Kevin Durant on the show tomorrow, hopefully. Fingers crossed that happens. We have Eddie George on the show today. Lots of fun guests. Heisman hopeful will be on the show maybe next week. So we will be here Monday, Tuesday, and I do believe Wednesday of next week before we take a little break for Thanksgiving. On the flip side of that, in tonight's kickoff to Week 12, Bills at Texans. Listen, on their side, on the Bills side, you can follow up that 6-touchdown game with another crazy performance against this defense, and you know what that would do for Josh? He'd be right back at the front of the MVP convo. Fun time for you, Drake May. Enjoy that Matthew Stafford, but here comes Josh if he does this against this defense. Another explosion is going to change what this looks like and launch him to the top, in my opinion. I know that means something to him tonight, too, against Houston last year. That was really the game that you can point to that he did not light it up all season long. Mr. MVP, it wasn't, they held him 9 for 30. And he has sort of an opportunity to make that ancient history. Let's take a look, by the way. I keep talking about this Gronk me, proper shot me. Here are my picks. James Cook, over 73.5 rush yards. Josh Allen, over 33.5 rush yards. And Woody Marks, I don't know why I picked him, the running back, but I did. Why? Because the Bills' run defense has sucked. So plus 125 there. Josh Allen, Gronk said, will go under 224.5 pass yards. Interesting. Nico Collins, under 74.5 receiving yards. And James Cook as an anytime touchdown scorer. And that's just our appetizer for a fun Week 12 slate of action. Let's take a look. Joe Burrow playing this weekend against New England. Likely, he participated in practice. They play on Thanksgiving against the Ravens on the road in Baltimore as well. How about that? The Patriots 7.5-point faves right now as well. Very interested to see how that goes as we find out more. The Bears are 2.5-point faves over the Steelers right now. We're waiting to hear Aaron Rodgers' status. I hope we get to see him play. Always like to see him play against the Bears. It might be the last time we ever see him play against the Bears if he does suit up. So keeping our eyes peeled there. Lions 10.5-point faves over the Giants. They're trying to work their way back into the playoff picture, and I will be at that one, which I love. Okay, now time for our favorite part of the week. We've got Odd Cities. Time for some Odd Cities. This is where I identify some statistical quirks that can give you an edge over on FanDuel Sportsbook. There's that frantic music, and let's do this. First up, did you know Drake May, as we all know, top 3 in passing. He's lighting it up consistently. He can go up a little bit. Sorry, I want to make sure. No, other way. Up would be, yeah. Drake May, top 3 in the league in passing, but he still doesn't have a single 300-yard game. Weird. Odd. That's an odd city. And it's a growing narrative among the ding-dongs out there on Twitter and the like. And I'm not bringing it up to hate. I'm bringing it up because I think it happens this weekend. Drake, plus 270 to throw 300-plus against this 31st-ranked Bengals pass defense. I'm taking that all day. And if Burrow does play, I think it makes it even more likely that we see it as the scoring gets ratcheted up a little bit. Here's an odd one for you. Here's an odd city. Despite throwing touchdowns at the highest rate of any quarterback in the entire Super Bowl era, Lamar Jackson's line is 1.5 touchdown passes this weekend against the Jets. Is that not odd? Is that not weird? Does that make you go, and then quickly go to your FanDuel Sportsbook app? Check this out. Lamar's thrown touchdowns at this ridiculous rate in his career. He's actually 2.1% above this historic rate so far this season. And now he's up against a sauceless Jet secondary that, by the way, has allowed 18 touchdown passes, no interceptions so far this season. That's so woof. That's so woof. It hurts. It's odd. And I wouldn't just take the over on that at 1.5. I would think about taking him for 3+ at plus 225. Okay, last one for you as far as odd cities are concerned. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense has been allowing an eye-popping, odd city-ridden 297 yards per game through the air over the last 6 weeks. That's second worst in the league over that span. And that's not the odd part, y'all. The strange thing here is that even with Tampa's secondary struggling to such a degree, Matthew Stafford's line for passing yards is 247.5, which is lower than his season average in his career that he's having, which is wild. I'm smashing the over on that one. There are some odd cities for you on this Thursday here on the Up and Adams Show. Up next, Eddie George on the show, Heisman winner. We'll dabble into that. We'll talk about maybe the Titans. Probably not. We'll talk about Derrick Henry, more than likely. We'll hop around the league with our guy, Eddie George, after this. Hawk him down, baby. Gotta hawk Eddie down.
Nobody is hawking him down.
No one was what?
I'll tell you that. Nobody was hawking him down.
What is that?
He's running right through everybody.
No, I'm going to do that. You know what?
I'll keep it here if you want.
Did you open it?
Just the tape on the bottom. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know what to do with that.
What shenanigans is Kat cooking up over there?
I don't know. Kat just opens all my mail.
No, I did not.
She does.
I did not open
I feel like a teenager. You know, like.
I so did not.
Remember how
Because if she doesn't, you won't. So
that's fair.
It needs to happen.
Remember at NFL when I worked for the for the NFL, I got a paycheck from them. They thought the same thing.
Yeah.
I think I got Texans cleats. I think that's what that is.
Whoa.
I haven't been here in a minute.
That's fun.
And I will not be here for a long minute. So I'm going to the Lions-Giants game on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm interviewing someone very cool, I think, on Monday. I'm excited about.
That's fun.
And then I will be spending my Thanksgiving with Joe Burrow, as I've always wanted.
Joe Burrow and Jimmy's Seafood. Doesn't get better than that.
Oh. If you think I didn't hit up Jimmy Seafood. Did Jake ever send me that clip? He said he was. Did he send it on that chat? Remember?
He did. I believe he did.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, on Monday.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I gotta secure my spot at the bar. There. I hit them up already. I don't know anyone.
You don't want
in
to sit
Baltimore.
next to your wall?
I don't think it's up anymore. I think that they're like, you're a Bengals person, get out of here. I think that was...
Wow.
Yeah. I get it. I very much get it.
Yeah.
And then... Yeah. That game's in Baltimore. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I need a friend. I need a Thanksgiving friend. Maybe Melissa.
Good
Who
one.
am I going to hang out with? I haven't thought about it. Ocho Cinco, Tyron. I'm going to bounce
It's a pretty good crew.
right after the game, but I'm talking the night before.
Yeah.
Make out Christmas, as Kyle Brandt used to call it. So funny. That was one of his best bits.
That's great.
Truly one of his
it
best
really
bits.
was.
Eddie George is one of the best players in the league because he can do that.
George making tackles into the end zone.
He's got running room.
George cuts it, fights, scores, breaks one tackle. George not to be denied.
joined by two-time All-Pro running back, 1996 Offensive Rookie of the Year, 95 Heisman winner, Bowling Green head coach. I was in Appleton, Wisconsin with my two nephews. We were at like a restaurant on Tuesday. You're on all the screens. We're rooting for you. I'm explaining to the 9-year-old the lore of the great Eddie George. She's like, how do you know who he is? You don't like college ball, but I know it wasn't the result that you wanted, but you are absolutely crushing it. It's so fun to see. And it can't be easy going from playing to coaching, but here you go. Tennessee State, their first postseason in over a decade, now leading Bowling Green. How is it going?
Wow. Well, first of all, Appleton was, I know the spot you're talking about, right? Is it in the Hyatt or something like that?
Yes.
Like downtown Appleton?
Yes.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
You've been.
We played Green Bay, we stayed there a few times, but Kay, I'm so honored that you recognize that. I mean, the Titans aren't doing well right now. We're not doing well right now. So it's a rebuild year for us here at Bowling Green State. Our kids are playing extremely hard. We are working on the discipline stuff right now, just really laying the foundation as far as the culture. And what I look for is, are we still playing hard? Are we engaged? Are we still paying attention? And then we're finding out, right now who's committed to football and who's not, who just finds it interesting. So it's a good position that we're in, and we got one more game to go, and then we're off to the off season to get better.
Okay, so you have the final game against UMass next Tuesday. When you look back at this season, what do you measure your success by? What are you most proud of?
Oh, man, I'm most proud of the fact that no matter how hard it got, we handled hard better. And what I mean by that, nobody didn't point fingers. Wasn't a lot of that. We continued to show up to work every single day. We did get better. We just haven't seen the results yet. And that's the thing. We kept getting up off the mat every single week, and we're being competitive. We're finding ourselves in close ball games. We're just learning how to finish. So, we came into the season. I got here pretty late in the process in the spring, assessing the talent, put together a roster, and things haven't gone the way we had hoped earlier on. We started off 3-3, beat Toledo, and then injuries happened, and we're playing guys that are playing for the first time ever. So it's a process. So I'm just really proud of the doggedness that's been created in terms of our attitude, and we refuse to quit or give up.
Yeah.
And we're not getting discouraged. And that's the first brick that's laid in terms of mental toughness. So I'm really excited about the future here at Bowling Green.
What more could you ask for? That's what you set a foundation. You clearly are. That's what it is in year one. And there's so much transition going on that now you dig in and you build from here. You're very popular on campus. The attendance is up.
I used to be. There's a cat. There's a cat. Pudge,
well, you're talking about doggedness, but somehow cats are involved here. So this is Pudge. But you're talking about facing adversity. You're allergic to cats, Eddie. This I know.
I am.
So George Carlson, the long snapper, starts bringing him around. How did you negotiate this?
Well, I was like taken aback when I saw Pudge in the meeting room during training camp. And I'm like, is there a cat in the facility? And I'm like, how do I handle this? I love animals. So I went over to George and I said, well, what's up with the cat? He says, well, this is Pudge. And I brought him in to kind of lighten the mood. Guys are kind of down. And when I got the backstory on why George brought him in, it's like his service animal for him, because he lost his mother a few years ago. And it's a way that how he deals with stress. So I said, you know what? Hey, I'm good with it. Just give me 2 minutes in front of him so I won't get an allergic reaction, and then we're good. And he's been popular. Now the cat has all these NIL deals.
Yeah.
He has arena sponsorship. He's got a Heisman commercial. He has interviews with the New York Times and CBS News and maybe 60-minute pieces and all of this, and he doesn't talk. But he's lovable. I love him. My wife loves him, and he's brought great levity to a really tough season for us. So he's been the highlight.
You are really taking one for the team. That is that's like, you know, you're dealing.
We talk about sacrifice, Kay. That's
you.
What it's about. We sacrifice.
It's always been you. I want to ask you, I see you and I think Heisman. I want to ask you, the race this season. I'm not that much of a college girly, but I know Mendoza's the name I hear all the time. If we can look at that, I think it's number 10 on here. I don't know if we have the list here. But it's Mendoza, Julian Sayin, of course, and then Marcel Reed, who I'm trying to get on my show. I really liked that 27-game point comeback. Even I saw that. That was insane. As a former Heisman winner, forever a Heisman winner, who do you think has stood out the most this year?
Well, I hadn't had a chance to really watch it, but when I have, certainly Marcel Reed, who I know from his high school days. My son, has played. They played on the same team in high school together. I've watched this kid grow up, and he's a phenomenal. He's the son of Rod Reed, who was the head coach at Tennessee State when I took over there, and he showed to me when they played at Notre Dame. That was a moment where I felt like, ooh, yeah, he's to go into Notre Dame, find a way to beat that team, and then show a 27-point comeback at home when they weren't playing well. I think you have to really consider him to be probably the front runner or top 3 right now in terms of Heisman Trophy candidates, because you look for those moments, you know, where you're not having your best game, when you can come back and overcome adversity. And he showed that. He's got arguably one of the best teams in the country. He's put up the numbers, but he showed that he can handle the pressure under the bright lights when it's toughest. And that's what winning a Heisman, in my eyes, is all about. It's the best player in the country, and he's definitely showing that. And I will say also Jeremiah Smith. You know, he's not putting up the big numbers, but just his ability to make big plays is just tremendous. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out here in the next couple of weeks. But you know, my ballot's coming in, and I'll have to say, you know, Marcel is definitely in the top of my conversation in terms of guys I'm thinking about as far as the Heisman.
Love hearing that. And then, of course, I want to get into all of these NFL storylines and into Tennessee and all of that. But a big storyline right now is Shedeur Sanders. And I wanted to ask you about that, making his first NFL start Sunday. Limited action. A huge storyline is that he just did not have first-team reps going into that. So did we set him up for success is a big question. If you were the coach, or if you were somebody that got to be around Shedeur, what would you tell him, and how would you coach him to make the most of this opportunity?
Well, I've been in that situation this year where I'm dealing with a young quarterback, and the best thing for a young quarterback is a run game, your running game, and tight ends, and seeing the middle of the field. And you see here, you know, they're going to pressure him. Any young running quarterback that's in the game, they're going to see how he handles the pressure. Didn't necessarily handle it that well last week. Now with a week of preparation, you know, having seen it, knowing where your pressures are coming from, having a full week to prepare as the starter, I think he'll settle in much better. You see him here stepping back in rhythm, you know, whether it's a quick 5 or quick 3, getting the ball out on time. Where he's going to have to learn to do is to, when the play breaks down, is not hold on to it long, have answers, know where your answers are under pressure. And I've competed against Shedeur when he was at Jackson State, when I was at Tennessee State. Mm-hmm. I've watched him certainly over the past few years, and he's matured into a professional. Now he has the opportunity to go out and show the world why, hey, I deserve to have this position, and really make his claim to say he's the future moving forward. So I'm really excited for him, and I think he's always handled himself as a professional, and I think he's hopefully he'll do fine this week against the Raiders. I
mean, I hope he does more than fine. I hope he can win himself a starting gig. This week. I think that might be possible in this game. It
is possible. They're playing the Raiders.
Ooh. But it's but see, it's great, but it sucks too, Coach, because then it's like, I can't, I'm calling you Coach. That's the first time I've ever said that. It's because if he doesn't do well, he couldn't even do it against the Raiders. And that's just like, you know?
Listen, you know, here's the thing. The league there's not a bad team in the league in terms of talent-wise. Everybody is good. What the differences are is the culture, 1, 2, momentum, injuries, 3. So there's a lot of factors go into it. So, you know, he's getting an opportunity to play, and we're going to see if he deserves the next opportunity to be the starter. This is what he wanted. This is what he has. And he has to go out there and make the most of it. And he has a chance to, for at least 1 week, silence the naysayers. And as you become successful, that red dot, that target becomes bigger on your back. So he's gotta just take it all in stride. Keep your head down, chop wood, carry water, and take it, and just be a professional day in and day out, and take the good with the bad, because you got to understand he's going to throw an interception. He's going to have bad plays, but hopefully he'll make more good plays than bad plays. I think he's probably learned from last week going into this week in terms of handling the pressure when it comes.
You've scouted him. You've coached against him. Is he an NFL starting quarterback?
I believe he is. I think he has to get the opportunities now. I think, just he has the arm talent. Now the game has to slow down for him. He's got to get the reps. And again, it's not just on Shedeur. The surrounding pieces. Again, if the run game is efficient for him, and he's in third and manageable situations where he can get the ball out fast, he can hit his tight ends, he can run for a first down, he'll be fine. He has to stay ahead of schedule. Where it goes off the rails, again, if he's in third and long situations and he's getting blitzes, I mean, that's tough for any young quarterback to deal with. So it's just not all on Shedeur. It's going to be on play calling, and it's a lot of pressure on that run game with Junkins and the offensive line to get positive yards on first and second down. That is going to be the key.
And Harold Fannin Jr. Now, come on.
Harold Fannin Jr.
He's throwing to the Bowling Green. I know you didn't coach him, but let's talk about the program here, because the early success Harold is having is amazing. I'd like you to talk about the future he could have in the league.
Oh, Harold, look, man, watching last year's tape, man, I mean, I could use a Harold Fannin Jr. right about now. Same colors as the Browns. Actually, the Browns got the Bowling Green colors back in the day and all. That's another story. But Harold Fanning is a phenomenal young man. He has a bright future. Watching his tape last year, he played a little bit of everything here, whether it was receiver, tight end, running back. Dude could play quarterback if he wants to. Great athlete. Catches the ball extremely well. Run after the catch. He's phenomenal. And he has a bright future. And again, for any young quarterback, finding your tight ends in the passing game is going to be a huge benefit for you, because he's always kind of in the middle of the field. And you can see here him catching a dig route, or it's a spot route, or stick routes, or your option routes. Finding the key matchups one-on-one. Look for number 44. He can help you in so many ways. Settle in, get you back on schedule, settle you down, versus trying to throw, looking at a concept going from your progression 1 to 2 to 3. Sometimes you just got to go 1, 2, get rid of it. If your tight end's not there, burn it or run. So that's kind of what I would say. And I have to say this too. I know this firsthand because I watched the maturation of a young Steve McNair. That's why they put me in, along with Frank Wycheck, to take the pressure off of Steve early in his career. And it took him, 4 to 5 years before he really settled in as an NFL quarterback. And he went from managing a game to becoming an NFL MVP in 2000 and 2001. So having seen it firsthand as a player, and now coaching it, being in the seat where I'm trying to figure out my quarterback situation, I can speak to it intimately. I'm living it right now in real time. Of
course, and you're doing it very well, and I'm super. I need some gear. I need some Bowling Green gear.
We're on the same. I'm looking at that FanDuel helmet like that's an ugly piece of.
I got it. You gotta get me something.
Like a Buckeye helmet or Bowling Green.
I need one.
Brown, and I see the Dolly Parton.
Yes.
And all that. Yeah.
Listen, Coach, you're always about the details. You're always about the details. Do you want me to ask you about? Would you rather talk about Jonathan Taylor or Derrick Henry? You pick.
Ooh, well, Derrick is a beast. I mean, he just has to keep. We can talk about both. Why not?
Well, my Derrick question is, and I got to talk to him a couple weeks ago. He reached top 5 all-time in rushing touchdowns this last month, okay? And he's been doing it for 10 years. That's the crazy part, 10 years. I don't think people understand that we might be watching potentially, and you did your thing, we've got Hall of Famers, you're a future Hall of Famer, all of that. But when the curtain closes on Derrick's career, he might be considered the greatest running back ever. What do you think?
He's certainly making that mark. I mean, because of the amount of, not just in the NFL, but from high school, okay, college. I don't think he's ever missed a game. I think he missed, one season in the NFL due to injury. Just his ability. He's a home run hitter in a big man's body. You see him here, breaking off long runs. He has 98-yard touchdown runs under his belt. He can catch out the backfield. He's a big target, and he's still doing this at a very high level late in his career. And it's a testament to what he does in the offseason. So it's certainly up for debate and conversation of being the greatest of all time because of what he's been able to do consistently, putting up big numbers year in and year out. It's just amazing.
He was struggling early. You had a talk with him, so you have a hand in his legacy.
Well, you know what? I wouldn't say that. Maybe just a tad bit. Yeah, but we had a candid conversation, and it was a particular game he played in London, actually. I want to say, oh God, I can't remember the year, but we were in London, and there was a play. We were playing the Chargers, and there was a play where he saw undersized linebacker in the hole, and he didn't challenge him. And that's when I was like, you know what? He's not imposing his will. He's looking for the big play. And this is the time when he's coming off the heels of splitting time with the other running back, Murray, who was with the Titans at the time. And he was just trying, DeMarco Murray, thank you. And he was just trying to find ways to hit the home run. And I was just basically telling him, listen, use your size to your advantage and come downhill. Impose your will on these dudes, and they don't want to see. I said, you now have got to play as if your career is on the line, because it is. Because there were talks of trades. They were saying he was not a great pick and this and that. And ever since we had that conversation, he's been motivated, not just me. He's talked to other running backs as well, just getting some inspiration. Ever since that day, everything just turned and clicked, and he's going on to have a Hall of Fame run. And I'm just really proud and happy for him because you can see the numbers that he's putting up, and it's been remarkable.
We'll be right back on the TV side. We're going to get this content out still very much live on the YouTube side and the social side here. You mentioned Hall of Fame, so let's do it. Your resume is deserving of a gold jacket. Okay, Coach?
Okay. I appreciate that.
You've already been a semifinalist, I believe, twice. Now, when it comes to Canton, how much are you thinking about it? What's your relationship? And has the committee provided feedback on why not yet?
I hadn't talked to anybody, honestly. It'll be a tremendous honor, honestly. I don't know how those things go. It's got to go through its process, and everybody has their opportunity. The thing I could say I'm most proud of is that the guys that I played with during my era, the Steve McNairs and Derek Mason, Javon Curse, Bruce Matthews, it was during a time when, hey, the Tennessee Titans, the Houston Oilers transitioned to the Tennessee Titans, and we were a nomadic football team at the time. And we didn't have a lot of talent, and I was putting up some really, really good numbers that kind of went unseen. And, I played in a conference where I had to see Ray Lewis twice and Pittsburgh twice. And it was a grown man football, and I had to earn it, so.
Hold on, when you're talking about the number, because you're like talking about teammates' names and stuff. Let's get this right. 10,000 yards in a 7-year span is so insane. And then you give the context. You give what you didn't have, who you had to face, all of that. The way that here's why you dominated your era. That is just true. Second most rushing yards in the NFL over your span with the Titans, or whatever you want to say. That, to me, that is the ticket in.
Okay, you know what? That's why, you know what? Appleton.
Yeah. Well,
and
and
what
Pudge.
do you want for Christmas?
Pudge wants you to be in too. Look, you have a man here who's willing to put up with the itchies and the scratchies with a cat just to make people happy and feel comfortable. Like, do you know what we have here? No,
I need you to talk for me. Thank you, Kay.
Well, we need to. Sometimes it's a campaigny game. You know, you can't be demure about it. You got to, like, talk your stuff. And you've got a lot of stuff to talk about, being the two-time All-Pro running back that you are. Last one for you, quick. I mean, before you took this Bowling Green gig, you had a meeting with the Bears, I do believe. Like, this coaching thing, Vrabel's doing pretty well. Like, if Amy called you, how would that convo go?
Wow.
Tough one.
Put me on the spot.
Yeah.
Well, currently I am the head coach for Bowling Green State University, and I can't talk about any other job outside of that. Now, you know, I have talked to Amy before, and, you know, there were some comments that were taken out of context from my perspective. And, you know, I'm trying to win ball games up here. I'm not thinking about anything else other than that. Now, you know, I just, from the outside looking in, I just think that they have an opportunity to really vet out someone that's going to come in and be a leader in that situation. And because in my mind, Mike Vrabel, you know, was a great pick, and you see what he's doing, the impact he's having at New England. And with whatever happened, I don't know what happened inside those walls. There was some kind of, you know, maybe some disagreements or whatever that is, but it didn't work out. But I think that's the next move, is finding someone, who can command the room, who has ties to the community, and can be someone that's competent in terms of the X's and O's to get the job done, and is going to sell the culture there. I'm not quite sure, you know, what that looks like moving forward, you know, as far as where the Titans are. But that's, in my estimation, you know, what do you want to be? What is the vision for this organization? Not just for the short term, but for the long term. You know, there are some organizations that hang their hat on their identity, and that, you know, you look at the Pittsburgh, you know exactly what you're getting from Pittsburgh. You can look around the league or at different organizations in terms of understanding who they are in terms of their identity and who they're going to be moving forward. So, you know, having been there, having had success there, I kind of know what that blueprint looks like. And it has to be something that's agreed upon, a shared vision with Amy, the general manager, and the next head coach, whoever that's going to be.
I have to ask, just because Titan fans want you back. I know you're happy, your work, it perfectly answered, but Titans fans really want you back, and everything you're saying, you are that guy. By the way, Titans not the only team looking for coaches, Giants as well. Just putting that out there. We love you. I just miss you in the NFL. Appreciate you. Good luck against UMass.
I appreciate you.
Close it out strong.
That's the message. Finish strong, Kay. Finish strong.
Give Pudge a pet for me.
Send me an address.
I will.
I'm going to send you some gear.
Good.
I'm going to send you a candle. You need a Joe Malone candle burning in the background.
A Joe Malone candle? Who knew?
Yes.
You're the best. Okay, Santa George. We'll talk to you later. Appreciate you. We'll be back. We actually have I understand. I just misspoke. And it's okay, because it's okay. Here we go. The Jags blew out the Chargers. That was a crazy game. I don't know how that even happened. Actually, I do. Josh Hines-Allen was an absolute wrecking ball for Justin Herbert. I have this Chargers helmet here somewhere. Like, look away, because here he is, Josh Hines-Allen. Jacksonville Jaguars, all-time career sacks leader. Josh Hines-Allen, how can you, what even goes through your head?
Time to put it out of the water. You know, it was a blessing just to be able to be in the conversation at one point, then to be in the top 5, then to be number 2, and now to be number 1. You know, I still got a lot of football left in front of me.
This one will stick with you, though. I feel like this sack will be special in 5 years, 10 years. Yeah, so let's talk about this. The record-breaking sack. Talk me through this play.
You know, I actually almost messed up. I thought we were about to run a game, and I was about to run a game, and then I looked inside and I realized who I was with. I was like, why are you moving around so much? And he looked at me like, no, Josh, no. And at the last second, I was like, oh, I can't do that. So then I just went to speed of power, and, you know, I'm still trying to figure out, if you would have asked me right after, like, how I sacked him, I thought I, like, spun around in a circle and, like, tackled him with my other arm. Like, it was kind of like because my head was like turned this way, my body was like going this way. So it was a very never had a sack like that, but what a way to break it. I'm still thinking about it. I'm still thinking about it to this day right now.
What did y'all see with this Chargers team that let you be so dominant?
I mean, it wasn't, again, I think we came into this week, like, it was more about us, figuring out, like, going back to what we do best, going back to the basics, and just letting us play some football. Coach Cohen had a great speech. Man, just let it rip. The night before, I thought it was one of his best speeches he gave.
Really?
Yeah. Just go let it rip, guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll worry about all that extra stuff on Monday, but when we go out there on Sunday, man, just let it go. And so, you can just tell guys are just flying around playing with no hesitation, no penalties, no rushing yard. Like, I think that was our first team win, like we put it all together. And when we put it all together, man, we're a dominant team and we're a team that can't be messed with. So we got to figure out to come with that same focus going into this week and do it again.
What did he say that resonated the next day? That's wild.
I think it was just a lead up to, we all felt bad losing in Houston the way we did.
Yeah. But y'all could have stayed down from that, but it galvanized you instead. It's amazing.
Because, man, this is a new era of Jacksonville Jaguars, man. I tell people all the time, especially now, like, beating the teams that we did beat should gave us confidence to know that we can play against anybody. And when we do it our way and we play our way, we focus in. We got a talented group of guys and the guys that love playing for each other. And when we play to that standard, we're a good team. So I think knowing that, being Kansas City early, being 49ers at home, being at their home, beating those teams, playoff teams, it was just like, man, we do our thing, man, we'll whoop this team. And, we was pissed off all week. Guys was focused on what they needed to do better. And we came in with that mentality. And Coach said what he had to say, kind of motivated a little bit of everybody, motivated me. And you see what you get.
What has it been like, or what has stuck out to you that has in your eyes, like as he's grown into his role as the head coach from day one till now?
Yeah, I think it's cool to see. We're in the part where, I'm literally witnessing, somebody like a first-time coach that's trying to do it the right way. Who's trying to have the best team available that he can have, trying to put together the best coaches and want the best from everybody. Obviously, he knows there's going to be ebbs and flows in the season, ebbs and flows in the game, and he's real enough to say when he messed up, when he's not locked in, when he is locked in. And, again, that's real. And if you can be real with us from day one and continue to, speak with confidence and speak with awareness and speak from a place where, I'm saying, I'm not perfect, but I know I'm working on myself and just like everybody else is. And so when you have a good, coach that can speak from the heart like that, it just resonates with you and resonates with me because I'm trying to do things here that, we've never done. I'm not trying to lose no more. I'm done with that. And he feels the same way, from a guy that, first time head coach, he wants to win. He wants to bring a culture here and I can rock with that. And we got guys that can rock with that too. And we're going.
Yeah. What was the locker room? I mean, it was complete dominance.
It was lit.
It was a crazy game. What was it like after? Like, how do you celebrate your wins, guys?
So it's crazy because my wife and I actually planned a casino night party Monday night, like the next night.
Perfect.
So it was just
perfect. Way to go.
So I got to break down the team.
That's dicey. That could have gone two separate ways.
It could have went two separate ways, but again, coming in, like everything just kind of worked out the way it's supposed to. And the whole team showed up. We had a great time. We connected. And again, just building that culture, building that family. I think if guys can become family and, be there for one each other. Well, it's easy to say you're my brother, but will a brother show up? And I think that's what we're proving to each other each and every day is showing up for each other. So it's cool to see everybody there and having a good time with their significant others. And, and it was just the players only. It was just players. And we had a lot of fun, especially at that win like that. And then, hey, it was a good little vibe.
I love that you're smiling. What's the role of the boxing videos in your success as a team?
Boy, you know,
Josh,
the boxing videos.
This is the craziest.
Yeah,
and
the boxing videos.
He's crazy. The animal videos, the National Geographic. I have my ways of getting a couple, getting some questions answered. But what is?
I got you.
What is that? What is that?
That's just him, man. That's I used to cringe about boxing videos, and then this year he started bringing back some. He started bringing up boxing videos. I'm like, okay, where is this going?
Mm-hmm.
But then he started bringing up low-key boxers that get it out the mud, boxers that are feisty, boxers I've never heard of in my life.
Okay.
To kind of appreciate like why he's showing us, not just showing us, Mike Tyson knockouts. Like he's showing us guys that, are underrated, not really known, but are tough. Put them in the hole, they're going to come out swinging. And, you start to feel that, and you can start to see the pressure and the presence that he brings with him all the time. And then you start to correlate who we are as a defense. We're an underrated defense, but we come out swinging, man. We tough to beat. And so, that starts resonating with you. And then the knockouts just get worse and worse and worse. And then he just comes in right after, just saying, just talking like him. It's a lot of words I can't really say on this, but
yeah.
But if you can imagine what a Italian from New Jersey, from North Jersey would say in a heated moment.
Yeah.
We get that times 10, and I love it.
What's the question about Trevor Lawrence right now? Where is he in his, I don't know.
Like I said, man, it's you asked about the pass rush, and I told you about what all else goes into it. You have the secondary, you have the coach, you have the calls that are coming in that's allowing us to play fast up front, which allows us to see things faster and, just adapt within the game. And then it's the same thing offensively. You have a guy at a quarterback position who needs things to go right. Well, he doesn't need things to go right, but when things are going right, it allows him and frees him up to be the best version of Trevor Lawrence. When we are running, it's okay that we are running offense, or we are a physical O-line predicated offense, and if we can establish the front and move the people like we moved the people last week, that's where we get our bread and butter. And then that allows, if we run the ball, that allows the play action, that allows Trevor to get the middle of the field open, that allows safeties to come up because they think we're going to run the ball to get the deep shot down to BT when he gets back healthy.
Oh my gosh, are y'all going to win the South?
We just got to, man, we trying to win it all.
I know that Jackson, the Colts had this story going on, and now I'm looking at the schedule. I'm listening to you.
Yeah.
Y'all might win the South.
Much respect to the Colts.
Of course.
Man, that's the goal, but we can't focus on that until that time comes. We have to it's a week by week league. Mm-hmm. But again, like much respect to the Colts. They're having a hell of a season, but they're a good team, man, and we can't wait for that battle. We got 2 more games. Trust me, we know when we play them. What I'm saying? We know when we play them. We're excited to play them, but first and foremost, man, we got Tennessee, another divisional opponent. That's going to be a tough game right before them. So we got to have to handle that. And then we got Arizona. So, which is a good team. Hell, Jacoby just threw for 400 plus yards last week. So, I'm excited to get in the film tomorrow and to see what they got going on and, see what I can do to help my team pull out a win this week.
Okay, so I want to know everything going on with 414 Hope, all the info, where can we donate, and what's going on with it?
So I'll tell you what I do know. My wife is in charge of all that. She's the maintenance and down to the gritty on details, but I know we have a few things coming up. Like you just said, we have the blood drive coming up where people can come and donate their blood and give back to, kids or families that are going through, that need blood. So what a good way to give back to the community.
You're donating what, $410 to cancer organizations for every sack, right?
Yes, we're doing that, the sackathon. So that's what I'm saying. Like I ain't been stressing, but I've been stressing a little bit because those numbers been low. So we got to start reeling that up a little bit. And I want to give back to to that, and my teammates do too. So we got to figure this out and keep going.
What was it like to have this sack record happen with your son Wesley? Like, how was that? What was it like to share that moment?
It's awesome. You know, if you think about it, a couple weeks ago, he walked out on the field with me for the coin toss, and you know, seeing him just reminded me that, you know, nothing else matters besides being in this moment right here. You know, when I was walking him out, and that was one thing that I've, you know, had to become a human being. And it allowed me to be there for my son and to be open and to love him and care for him and, you know, and just be there. And so I think that moment right there allowed me to see everything fuller. You know what I'm saying? Like, Josh, this is just a game. You know what I mean? This is just a game. And take it as that. So don't make anything too deep. Because at the end of the day, you got people, like you just said, you got people out here fighting real problems.
Thank you for your candor. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your perspective. And thanks for these amazing sacks that have been so fun to watch.
Thank you, Kay. I appreciate you for having me on.
Now BDE going up top. He's got Orlando behind him.
Look out, went for the frog splash. Francis saw it coming. And now I got a feeling BDE gonna pay.
Oh, the TFL by Francis.
A frog splash? BDE I thought was something else, but that was quite a move on BDE in his last TNA wrestling match. My guy, AJ Francis, of course, former defensive tackle turned TNA wrestling champion, is here. You're fresh off a victory. I love seeing you like this. Turning point. You're a champ. You beat this YouTuber. And the match was wild. Hamilton and I were like, there's bodies literally flying everywhere. This felt like the wrestling equivalent, AJ, of the 54-51 Rams-Chiefs Monday Nighter a few years ago. Talk me through this move.
So basically, that move is an opportunity for me to let him take a nap.
Oh.
And you know, in wrestling, you got to get back in the ring before the 10 count.
My God.
So I thought that I could get him out, boom.
Oh, my gosh.
He'd be able to stay down for 10 and he'd learn a lesson, but he wanted to learn more lessons, so he got in at 9, and that's just the way it goes, you know.
Is he okay? Is he okay now?
He's great. You
sure?
Yeah. No, me and Brandon just started wrestling this year, and BDE stands for Brandon Does Everything.
Sure it does.
You know, I mean, I know you're the most eligible bachelorette in the world.
No, I'm not. I'm literally not. Oh!
This is the news all over the place.
It's not. It's don't believe anything you read. Okay, what's coming up next for you in the ring?
Man, I got Final Resolution pay-per-view coming up.
Okay.
Very, very big in December. We're going to be in El Paso, the home of Eddie Guerrero. You know, we're going to be out there doing that. I'm going to have a very big match that will be announced tonight on TNA Impact. I can't really give it away yet because it hasn't aired yet, but I'll have a very, 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 very big match in El Paso on December 5th. So it's going to be great, and it'll be announced tonight on TNA Impact.
We saw Cam Scadaboo at the match, getting in on it. We gave you some homework. We said, give us your current NFL players that would make the best professional wrestlers. Take me quickly through your list.
Well, you know, I had number 5. I had Trent Williams because he's the only offensive lineman I ever played that was both bigger than me and stronger than me and faster than me, all 3 things. Nobody else is ever that. So he was the only person I always had to bring my lunch pail with every single day. So Trent Williams, I had him at number 5. DK Metcalf is an athletic freak. He would be perfect in the ring. He looks the part. He looks like he should already be a world champion. Lamar Jackson, one-of-one athlete of our generation. I'm sure he'd be able to be that exact thing in the wrestling ring as well. Jalen Ramsey is obviously the best trash talker in the league. So, you know, he would make a perfect wrestler. And then George Kittle, the number one thing about wrestling, the reason why I'm so good at it, the reason why so many people that become legends are so good at it is you got to love it and you got to be dedicated to it. And George Kittle is definitely the most dedicated wrestling fan, you know, in the NFL.
I love your list. I think Trent Williams is scary and crazy. Jalen, you never know what's going to happen. I love this. When you're seeing these storylines or these comments from people like Cam Scadaboo, the rookie, he's hurt, he shouldn't be there, he's on Monday Night Raw, he's with his teammates. What is the real risk of injury from what you saw for him?
From what he did, absolutely nothing. I mean,
Zero.
WWE's not going to do anything that's going to, put him in actual jeopardy. Once again, wrestling, I don't know if you know this or not, but it's not always.
Oh my gosh.
True and true.
This is nothing? There's no risk of injury here? I mean, look at.
None at all. None at all. I mean, literally we're throwing punches, man. I mean, if he got picked up and slammed, that's a whole different thing. But, a push never hurt nobody.
What would you tell NFL fans that are yelling at a cloud about what could be and how he needs to just be in bubble wrap sitting at home?
I mean, I don't know if they know what he does for a living, but telling that man to, put himself in bubble wrap would be insane because
But he's hurt.
Yes, but the years he dedicated his life to get to this point when he could have been hurt. I mean, if that's the case, he shouldn't play football at all. The truth of the matter is they're not going to do anything that's going to get him hurt. They're not going to do anything that messes up the money. That's rule number one. And Cam, for his credit, he wanted to do it. So, let him do it.
Yeah, he's also drinking energy drinks out of shoes. He needs to work his way onto that top 5 list.
But that's why the New York Giants fans love him.
Yeah.
Because of those things that he does.
It's a brand. You need to build your brand, as you know.
Exactly.
You also somehow have time, while you're destroying young YouTubers, to also do good. You have a canned food drive coming up this Saturday with Maryland football, taking on the Michigan Wolverines, which I love. And I know it's you, and there's a coat drive, Sean Merriman. You guys have all these donations. Tell me about it.
Yeah, man. This is my 9th year doing the canned food drive with Sarah's House in Fort Meade, Maryland. And, Maryland's always been very big in the process, the university. And you just got to bring breakfast bars, canned goods, non-perishables, diapers, baby wipes, anything you think that these kids could use at Sarah's House, bring it to the gates at the football game versus Michigan. We'll be able to bring the donations directly to Sarah's House. And if you can't make it to the game and you want to donate, the link to Sarah's House is underneath my original tweet about the event. It's a huge event. It's an opportunity to give back to the less fortunate. In these times, we need it more than ever. So I'm just very grateful that I've been able to do this. And I was actually inspired by Sean Merriman. This is his 23rd year doing the code drive. So it's, I'm just very excited that I was able to, try to fill his shoes a little bit with this canned food drive.
It's amazing. You're doing good, and you're going to be in TNA's final resolution on December 5th. Congrats. Great to see you smiling as always. We'll talk soon.
Absolutely. We need to get you to a show.
Invite me.